Hello, it's me, IMIR31D, getting ready to do a quick Let's Play demo of the game Fallout 3, which is quite an old one, but there's a surprising amount of people that aren't actually familiar with it. So, here we are, Fallout 3 loading up just now. Just let me adjust the audio settings before I get deafened. There we go. That should do it. Right, we're going to start a new game so we can just talk through the basic mechanics of the game and the engine and see how everything works. It's a very smoothly done game. It starts out with quite a clever intro that slowly builds you into the environment that is Fallout 3. You can see the radio's damaged and just sparking up just now. And as I'm sure you can gather from the name, the world is set after the Fallout, you know, after the nuclear apocalypse. I forget when the exact date was, but it's with the game lore. But you can see the camera just like scrolling around and slowly easing the player into the environment. Adds a little bit of the comical aspect with the hula girl there, which is completely out of aspect with the rest of the game, but it's one of the small touches that Fallout seem to do, because they like to add a lot of these little wee Easter eggs. It's a Bethesda thing, you know. It's only good if there's a little bit of comedy. You know, they avoid the hardcore seriousness of the game. That little aspects of comedy are quite essential in making this game such a success, because it means that you can play the game, have fun, have a laugh, but you can also play it seriously. The way this game's done is the same with typical Bethesda style, with the exception of some of their lesser appreciated brands like Brink. That was not a good example, but their large open world environments seem to have a lot of different varieties of ways you can play through it. Fallout 3 is not an exception to that either. And you can see that they've put a lot of work into the world and the environment, making sure that it's lots of detail, graphically pleasing. It's a really exciting game. These guys are pretty badass here. Now here we are. The intro sequence is done and we're about to go into the character creation. It's interesting how it's done in Fallout 3 with the disturbing idea of you being born.
War never changes.
But first, there's this
Since
voiceover
the dawn
that I
of
forgot about.
humankind, when our ancestors
listen.
first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world, but war never changes.
There's references made to that war never changes in the Fallout
In
New
the early
Vegas
days,
as well.
thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters known as vaults. But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant steel door of Vault 101 slid closed and never reopened. It was here you were born. It is here you will die. Because in Vault 101, no one ever enters, and no one ever leaves.
As you can see, a very in-depth description of the prequel to the understanding how the game works, but not much to the point of how the mechanics of this game works. And here we are with the disturbing scene where you are actually being born. Not a pleasant thought, really, but still a very tactical way to access you into the character creator. Right, I am a guy. Right, so I'm going to be as brief as I can with the character creator here. Just give you a little wee rundown of how the character creator works. It can be quite in depth at times, but if you're wanting to be quick, you know, it's got features which adapt for quick people that are wanting to go through it quickly, but still make a pretty awesome looking character.
You've got a bright future ahead of you, son. I'm sure of it. Look at you. Look at you. Hi there. I'm your daddy, little guy. Daddy. You're going to need a name, aren't you? Your mother and I have been talking. What do you think about...
The name player name is exciting, but I think I'll just go with the good old-fashioned IMIR31D.
Fits you perfectly. Looks like they've finished the gene projection. Let's see what you'll look like when you're all grown up.
Right then, we'll go through the presets. That'll do. Might as well show you the face creator. I mean, like when it goes into customization, you can change every single aspect of the head using a variety of sliders. Some of them have got more options than others, obviously, because some things obviously need a lot more. Me, I just generally stick with the presets so I can get into the game as swiftly as possible. Right then, let's go with... We'll go with Warhawk. Can never go wrong with a Warhawk. Hair color... Might as well go a bit crazy. My favorite color, cyan there. And facial hair... Might as well make him look a little bit like me. As you can see, there's a large collection of different hairstyles that you can use, and an interesting one, facial hair, serious chick. But generally I just stick with the rough beard. That's generally what I do, because I'm too lazy to shave. Okay, done. Note this is what your character looks like when he's older, not when he's younger.
See that, Captain?
As you play through the tutorial, it's done in the area that is Vault 101 to make the tutorial nice and immersive, but also stick to the storyline. That way it integrates the tutorial with the storyline, which makes it, like, you know, kind of necessary to play through the tutorial at least once to get the idea of what's going on. But sometimes a lot of players get very frustrated with the whole tutorial. So there are various ways around it, but first I will just play through the tutorial, and once we complete the tutorial I will come back with the second episode as we do the first quest in Fallout 3.
Look straight into the light.
James and his cheery chatter. May your future be bright.
This place will feel just like home. Come on over here, son. Come on. Walk to death.
They've done very well with the scaling here, so you know that it's quite accurate to the size of the children in Fallout. When you play Fallout and you get further on to later quests, you will find that it's quite effective, the scaling, because, you know, this stays consistent throughout the whole game, and I don't want, not mean to boring you with the old detail of the scenario, but as you can see, it's a pretty free environment to work around with, and you can have a look. Even got a quote from the Bible there, 21:6. Ooh, yeah. Making sound noises and all that. Ah yes, the special book. This is where you go through all of your skills. You're given various action points to put into the game. You get strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. And depending on how you're planning on playing through the game, these are really important at the start. For example, me, I am going to probably do something crazy and exciting and go through the game using melee weapons. Melee weapons obviously use strength. Strength is pivotal to the increasing the damage. It also increases your carry weight, so it's useful if you're trading. You can reduce and play around with the stats a bit more, but I'm trying to keep this brief. And this is the part where the father is about to come in.
You are quite quite the little explorer, aren't you? Serves me right for trying to pin you.
But however, the mechanics of the game aren't that great. He does look at you, although if you're behind him, he doesn't really register that.
It was your mother's favorite passage. It's from the Bible. Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. We always loved that. All right, come on. Let's go see if your little friend Amata wants to play.
Yes, Amata, she's critical to the story later on. Look at me, I'm a baby, I'm a jumping on the chairs. Brah, brah, brah. Jump, jump, jump. And here we go, another flashback! Or a flash forward, I should say. Here we are, 10 years old.
Stanley, you turned the lights on too fast. You blinded the poor kid.
Happy birthday!
Can you believe it? He's growing up so fast.
Happy birthday, pal. I can't believe
Basically, the game's obviously the tutorial is done through the stages of your life to help you with the development with your character later on. This is where you're given the Pip-Boy, which is your main tool for studying your inventory and various quests and maps and radio stations.
Take on your first official vault responsibilities. So here you are. As Overseer, I hereby present to you your very own Pip-Boy 3000. Get used to it. You'll be getting your
Quite sinister there. Get used to it. Happy birthday, have a work assignment. Nothing says happy birthday to a 10-year-old like giving them a job.
So have fun.
Right, here's where you get to interact with the characters, and it can create, like, you know, various choices that don't affect the game too massively, but, you know, they're nice little wee touches.
Ha! I knew I'd surprise you. Who's your favorite barbarian? That's right, Grognak. I found... Well, I better let you get back to mingling with your guests.
I should probably stop skipping through all the chat.
Oh, man.
Talk with Stanley. Oh, this is where the robot screws up. Bearing in mind that these robots were actually made after a thing called Mr. Gutsy, which means it's got a flamethrower, a chainsaw. It's pretty violent creation there. Very fun though.
How do you like that Pip-Boy, son? Fit all right? As a matter of fact, I did. I'm glad you like it. Some may think the A series is a bit basic, but I've always...
But you can, as you can see, you got lots of different things as to how you're going to play. I mean, you can say, if you're going to be a rude person, you know, you can always go with a rude option that can often get you into fights later on in the game, but, yeah.
Don't miss.
This is where, accessing the Pip-Boy, so basically you have your stats, items, and data. Everything's quantified into your various different menus. You got weapons, apparel, baseball cap, aid, misc, and ammo. Obviously, as a child, you've got no use for this yet. You can tune into the Vault PA system and listen to the exciting music.
Are you having a nice party? 10 years
There's not
old.
really much to describe in the tutorial because, like I said, it's just teaching you everything, and there's not very much to do. But I'm about to show you a part where the chat mechanics can involve you getting into a fight.
Nice party, butthead. Get lost before I have to be a party, you know? I'm hungry, and that stupid rope. Give me that sweet roll you got from Old Lady Palm.
As you can see, you have the thing here. You know, you can just speak shyly. You can share it half and half, or you can activate a combat situation by doing something like this, which is going to seriously offend them.
Ugh, I don't want your nerd cooties. You're gonna be sorry you did that.
How's it going, pal?
Well, actually, no, that was a bad example there.
I know.
It's alright, we'll get our own back on Boots later on in the game.
Happy birthday, Sonny.
You'll see. Oh, the intercom's going off, so this is where we're going to proceed to the next part of the tutorial. The nice little touch of this game is the field of view. I mean, you can play from first person or third person, however you prefer.
Thanks. Send them right down.
What should we call ourselves?
Hey, that was Jonas on the intercom. He and I have been cooking up a little surprise. Jonas is waiting for you downstairs on the reactor level. Go ahead. I don't think anyone will mind if you...
You can fix anything, right? I'm glad you can make it.
Enjoying yourself?
Happy birthday, dear. They sure did. My. 10 years old already? Why, I
But yeah,
can
like I
remember
said,
helping
there's
my
lots of
dad
different
change
characters you
his
can
diapers.
interact with in
Since
the
this
world,
was
and you know,
such a
it's
special occasion,
good fun. I
you
mean,
know
there's
what?
nice little wee touches in the
I
game
wrote
which help
you
make
a
it such a
poem
roaring success.
just for you.
But as I said,
I hope you like it.
my spiel at the moment is going to be quite boring because
Of course.
it's nothing really exciting in the tutorial level. But you know, I feel with this Let's Play, you know, kind of essential to do it start to finish.
What are you doing down here, young man? I thought kids weren't allowed. Oh, I see. Now that you're 10, you're all business. Happy birthday, by the way. Hang on one more minute. I think I hear someone coming.
But yeah, this is like the tutorial is pretty slow paced, but once you get involved in the combat, it can be quite more immersive.
The Overseer gave you your Pip-Boy, and you're old enough to do some work. So, I figure you're old enough for this. Your own BB gun. It's a little old, but it should work perfectly. Jonas found it down here. It was in pretty rough shape. Took us a good 3 months to find the parts to get it working again. You know how tough it is to find a spring that small? Good thing Butch misplaced that switchblade of his. So, what do you think? Want to give it a try? Easy now. It's only a BB gun, but it's not a
Yeah,
tool.
I mean, like, you know, this game is
Let's go
really
try
good
that.
and all that. Let's
There's my-
just burn through the tutorial here. And I'll start recording the second episode for you at a later date. Got the gun out and various aiming mechanics.
Careful, it's a radroach.
And the thing that this game is notorious for is the VATS system. VATS basically allows you to slow down time, or freeze time until you shoot, then you fire in slow motion. And you can individually select the parts that you're going to hit. Then when you accept, you can see that it's not always reliable, but it's good fun. Just
shoot. You'll be fine.
bad aiming. There we go.
Good work. Let's get a picture. Hey, Jonas, get a picture of me with a big game hunter.
Here we go to another flash forward.
Different parts.
Basically, this entire tutorial is allowing you to get to aspects of the game, like obviously as a child, engaging in the moving aspects, and then you're able to select your special skills. This part will be the part which leads to the tag skills, which basically are boosts to your individual skills separate from the special ones.
Go on now. Hey, come on. No, you. When I.
There was nothing really important in that dialogue, and I'm just wanting to get on with it.
Good morning.
Alright then, let's go make Butch pay.
Stupid tunnel snakes.
Back off.
I can show you.
Is that Butch? Stop it. Leave him alone.
Huh? Hit him again.
Please stop fighting.
Tunnel snakes rule. Losers rule.
Let's go to the VATS, and we'll just hit him several times very hard.
Had enough yet? Hit him again. Give him another one.
Please stop fighting.
So yeah, as you can see, you know,
This little bitch isn't worth. You'll get yours eventually. Whatever you say, Butch. You're the boss. Tunnel snakes rule.
Fine, let's go.
an amazing amount of blood from a little wee bit of fisticuffs there. Then we talk to Amata. Holster my fists.
Thanks for getting rid of them. Asshole. I don't know why they won't leave me alone. Just because my father's the overseer, I guess? Idiots.
Right then, so we're going to do the goat test.
Well, you made it. We'll start as soon as everyone's found a seat. Good luck.
I find this test really quite amusing with some of the better aspects of it. But this is another way that they use, like if you play the game and do the test, I mean you can edit the scores at the end, but it gives you an idea of like how you respond affecting the game.
Classroom, get started. No talking, and keep your eyes to yourselves. Yes, I'm talking to you, Mr. Deloria.
Sure thing, Mr. Brutch.
Unless anyone else has an insightful comment, let's get started. Question 1. A frenzied vault scientist runs up to you and yells, "I'm going to put my quantum harmonizer in your photonic resonation chamber." What's your response?
Basically, you know, it's really cheesy and dodgy questions like that, and then you can choose how to do it, like how you're going to respond. I mean, if you do this, but Doctor, wouldn't that cause a parabolic destabilization of the fission singularity? Then that'll give you bonus points to how you're going to acquire, like, science as your skill. But let's just go with grab the nearby pipe and hit him in the head.
Question 2. While working as an intern in the clinic, a patient with a strange infection in his foot stumbles through the door. The infection is spreading at an alarming rate, but the doctor stepped out for a while. What do you do?
Let's amputate the foot before the infection spreads.
You discover a young boy lost in the lower levels of the vault. He's hungry and frightened, but also appears to be in possession of stolen property. What do you do?
Let's lead the boy to safety, then turn him over to the overseer.
Question 4. Congratulations. You've made one of the Vault 101 baseball teams. Which position do you prefer?
Let's go with designated hitter, as my characters could be hitting a lot of things with solid objects.
Your grandmother invites you to tea, but you're surprised when she gives you a pistol and orders you to kill another vault resident. What do you do?
Throw tea in your granny's face. That's a bit harsh. Let's ask Granny for a minigun instead, so that we don't miss.
Question 6. Old Mr. Abernathy has locked himself in his quarters again, and you've been ordered to get him out. How do you proceed?
Let's throw a cherry bomb at the door and make it explode.
Oh no! You've been exposed to radiation, and a mutated hand has grown out of your stomach. What's the best course of treatment?
Mutated arm, eh? Let's cure it with the removal of the mutated
Question 8.
mutation.
The Vault 101 resident is in possession of the Grognak the Barbarian comic book, issue number 1. You want it. What's the best way to obtain it?
Steal the comic at gunpoint? Sneak? Let's knock him out with some knockout drops in his Nuka-Cola.
You decided it would be fun to play a prank on your father. You enter his private restroom when no one is looking, and...
Let's put a firecracker in the toilet. I'm sure that'll cause some chaos.
Question 7. Who is indisputably the most important person in Vault 101? He who shelters us from the harshness of the atomic wasteland, and to whom we owe everything we have, including our lives.
I wonder which answer I will pick for this one. Let's go with the first one.
Pencils down, people. That's it. The infamous goat. I'm sure most of you didn't find it so bad. Others, well, there are always openings in the maintenance department. Don't forget to hand in your test before you leave. You don't want to know what happens to people who fail the goat.
Let's go and find out what my
Or to pray, as the situation warrants.
Let's find out what my selected job is.
Looks like the diner's going to get a new fry cook. I'll just say this once. Hold a
Fry cook.
Extra pickles.
Yes, he answered unquestionably and got his job as a teacher.
Listen, I was just as obnoxious at your age. I didn't take the goat seriously, and look where I ended up. Just between you and me. The whole of the test is a joke. If you don't like the results, I can make your goat come.